I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
On October 1st, 2025, the moment he'd been waiting for almost 2 years finally arrived. Jungkook, the golden magne of BTS, reappeared on TikTok after a long silence. There was no promotion, no big announcement, just a short post, but it was enough to shake the entire internet. From the moment the news broke, social media exploded. Hashtags with his name immediately dominated trending topics on various platforms. Timelines filled with virtual screams from armies around the world. They knew that every Jungkook appearance wasn't just another post. It was a global event. The video he uploaded was simple. Jungkook danced casually in a naturally lit room, wearing a black t-shirt, sweatpants, and a beanie. There was no complicated choreography, no fancy backdrop. But that's precisely where his charm lay. He danced to the song Fashion by HYB's rookie group, Quartus, and within minutes, the world was obsessed again. His movements were fluid, his expressions were cheerful, and the energy he radiated was infectious. In just 4 hours, the video surpassed 10 million views and 3 million likes. Numbers that are nearly impossible to achieve in such a short time, unless Jungkook uploaded them. After 7 hours, those numbers jumped to 15 million, and by the 13th hour, it had reached 25 million views. By 24 hours, the video had racked up over 30 million views and 7.6 million likes. It wasn't just numbers, it was proof. Jungkook's influence in the digital world remains unmatched, even after 2 years of hiatus. Interestingly, midway through the dance, the song suddenly changed to a trot remix. Jungkook adjusted his movements to the new beat, adding hilarious expressions that had fans roaring with laughter. He went from cool idol to funny Jungkook in just a few seconds, a transition that proved just how spontaneous and charming the star is. The public reaction? Crazy. Netizens wrote, "Jungkook is back, and the digital world feels alive again." That phrase seemed to sum up the mood of everyone who witnessed his rise on TikTok. But the impact didn't stop with personal popularity. Quartus's Fashion suddenly shot to the top of various digital charts. The rookie group even admitted they couldn't believe it when they saw Jungkook dancing to their song. In interviews, they said the moment felt like a dream, because one video from Jungkook could drastically change the course of their careers. The media then dubbed it the Jungkook effect, a phenomenon that has been proven time and time again. Anything Jungkook touches instantly becomes a global trend. And all of this was made even more special because it was Jungkook's first post since completing his mandatory military service in June 2025. For fans, the video wasn't just entertainment, but a symbol of a comeback, a sign that the star was finally returning to a world that missed him so much. For many, Jungkook is more than just an idol. He's a figure who can bridge music, culture, and fashion all in one breath. And speaking of the fashion world, just weeks after the viral TikTok video, Jungkook's name reigned supreme once again, this time at New York Fashion Week 2025. According to a recent report from Onclusive, Jungkook was the most influential figure during the prestigious event. As Calvin Klein's global ambassador, he not only steals the show on stage, but also across the digital realm. Data recorded over 2.71 million mentions related to NYFW, and of that number, Jungkook held a remarkable 55.09% share of the conversation. This means that more than half of the conversations about NYFW worldwide centered on one person, BTS's Jungkook. He surpassed many other big names, including Thai actor Z Pruk, 24.6%, and Milk Pansa, 7.68%. It wasn't just Jungkook's name that stole the show, but also the brands he represented. Calvin Klein recorded a market share of 69.58%, far above other labels like COS, 19.42%, and Coach, 2.9%. These figures prove that Jungkook's presence isn't just boosting popularity, he's changing the landscape of the fashion industry itself. In fact, Onclusive's #heatmap report shows Jungkook's name appearing multiple times in the list of the 15 most popular hashtags during NYFW, September 11th to 16th, 2025. This demonstrates how public enthusiasm for him truly transcends industry boundaries. At this point, one thing becomes clear. Jungkook's influence extends beyond his music or mere fame. He is a symbol of how an artist can become the pivot between pop culture, fashion, and the world's digital forces. Many international media outlets have described his presence at New York Fashion Week as more than just an appearance, but a global stage takeover. His single step on the red carpet was enough to shift the fashion world's focus. One day after his TikTok post shook the world, the impact of Jungkook's comeback began to be felt across the global entertainment industry. International media outlets, from Billboard to Rolling Stone to Vogue Korea, were all racing to cover his appearance. But what was interesting was that it wasn't just the dance moves or the number of views. It was the psychological impact he created in the digital world. Platforms like TikTok and X, Twitter, recorded a surge in user activity unprecedented since 2023. Analysts even called Jungkook's comeback a digital resurgence moment, a moment where a single individual can reignite the spirit of a global community with just one post. TikTok Korea confirmed that on October 2nd, 2025, the highest traffic spike of the year occurred in the hours following Jungkook's video release. Thousands of new accounts were created solely to follow the hashtags #JungkookTikTok and #FASHyoen challenge. And sure enough, the fashion dance challenge exploded. Within 48 hours, over 6 million videos were created using the same song. From K-pop trainees to major artists, even global influencers like Bella Poarch, Charli D'Amelio, and American singer Tate McRae joined in. This phenomenon wasn't just viral, it was a cultural wave. One simple dance changed the tide of trends, and Jungkook's name became the center of gravity that pulled everything back into its orbit. HYB itself was reportedly shocked by the impact. In an official statement, a company representative said that digital sales of the song, Fashion, increased by over 900% in just 3 days, while the official Cordis TikTok account gained 2.5 million new followers since Jungkook's video was posted. For the industry, this wasn't just a stroke of luck. It was a case study in how the power of a global artist can create a tangible domino effect across the digital entertainment ecosystem. For fans, it was proof that Jungkook remained in control of the world stage, even without having to say a word. Interestingly, a few days later, Jungkook was spotted in New York, attending New York Fashion Week 2025 as a Calvin Klein global ambassador. Many realized that the timing of his TikTok appearance was no coincidence. Rather, it was a moment of momentum, a subtle way to mark a new chapter in his global career. Cameras captured his every move in New York. From the moment he stepped out of a black car in his signature monochrome Calvin Klein outfit, to sitting front row alongside the world's biggest fashion names. But this time, something felt different. Jungkook wasn't just a guest of honor. He was the center of the fashion world's attention. According to Onclusive data, Jungkook's name appeared in more than 2.71 million global news stories during NYFW, with a share of conversation reaching 55.09% of all conversations. That means, among hundreds of international celebrities and models, more than half of the world's media attention was focused on one person, Jungkook. And that effect immediately spread to the brands he represents. Calvin Klein, for which Jungkook has been the global face since 2023, ranked first out of 71 fashion labels showing at NYFW, with a market share of 69.58%. This figure far surpassed competitors like COS, 19.42%, and Coach, 2.9%. Not only that, Jungkook-themed hashtags, such as #JungkookNYFW, #CalvinKleinsJungkook, and #JKNYC, simultaneously topped the list of the 15 most used hashtags across all platforms during the show week. In an interview with Fashion Insight Korea, one international media director even stated, "In the digital age, there are two things that can guarantee global attention: the presence of BTS and the name Jungkook. But this time, Jungkook stood alone, and he completely dominated the fashion world stage." This success not only reflects his star appeal, but also cements his status as a cross-industry icon, someone capable of bridging music, fashion, and digital culture into a unified global narrative. What makes it even more captivating is that Jungkook appears completely at ease amidst the frenzy of global attention. In several photos circulating online, he is captured looking down with a small smile at fans calling his name. No over-the-top gestures, no pretensions. Just Jungkook, with the calm that has been his trademark since the beginning of his career. And perhaps that's why the world is so obsessed with him. It's not just because he's handsome or talented, but because beneath all the spotlight and numbers, Jungkook remains genuinely human. Welcome back, Digital King.